There was max pressure in the Senate today as the CEO of Boeing testified for the first time since two deadly crashes forced the grounding of the 737 MAX. Exactly a year after the first of those crashes, Boeing is pushing to get its troubled jetliner back in the air. Kris Van Cleave now on a day of accusations and anguish.
I would walk before I was to get on a 737 MAX. I would walk.
One by one, senators took turn criticizing Boeing CEO Dennis Muilenburg.
You've not told us the whole truth, and these families are suffering because of it.
Members of those families were sitting just behind the Boeing chief and at the committee's request stood with pictures of their loved ones.
We are sorry, deeply and truly sorry. I think about you and your loved ones every day.
Muilenburg admitted mistakes were made, but West Virginia Republican Shelley Moore Capito wanted to know why the 737 MAX wasn't grounded after the first crash in Indonesia 1 year ago today.
I think about that decision over and over every day. And if we knew everything back then that we know now, we would have made a different decision.
Okay. But some at Boeing may have known the plane had flaws nearly 2 years before the first crash. Messages show two test pilots complaining about the flight control system known as MCAS, one calling it egregious, saying it's running rampant in a flight simulator. That system was linked to both deadly crashes. Muilenburg acknowledged knowing about the messages months before the second MAX crash, but says he only recently learned the details.
You're the CEO. The buck stops with you.
Roland Rayhorn and his wife Joan, who lost their 24-year-old daughter Angela in the Ethiopian Airlines crash, found Muilenburg's performance unsatisfying.
Do you believe Mr. Muilenburg when he says he's sorry?
I have to say no.
Why not?
Because if he's sorry, he would have resigned.
They brought their daughter's remains home from Africa just 1 week ago.
It's torn me apart. Angela and I were so close.
The mother of a MAX victim confronted Muilenburg at the end of the hearing, saying when you say you're sorry to someone, you're supposed to look at them. He stopped, looked her in the eyes, and said, "I'm sorry." Nora?